Cordell, overheadathletics.com. I wanted to make a quick video today, go through some of the really basic core stability exercises that we see people doing all the time at gyms, and a lot of times they're not sequencing their pelvic tilt properly to get the most out of it. So the first one's just going to be a simple plank on the elbows. A lot of times we do this on the knees for athletes who aren't yet ready, or we'll go here, or we'll even do an external rotation with a band and a serratus press where I'm pressing my chest as far from the ground as possible. So you can make this exercise very difficult and very beneficial where you're working on a lot of things at once, but the most important thing if you're going to be working on your core muscles is going to be not letting yourself arch in the low back like that. So I want to tuck my butt under, and you can see I just gave a little quiver there because it's much more difficult when you're engaging that rectus abdominis with that full posterior pelvic tilt. So I don't want to arch through the low back, I want to tuck the low back under and squeeze my abs as hard as I can the entire exercise. Same thing happens when I do the side plank. You can stack the feet or go here. Actually, a lot of people go straight side plank. A lot of times we like to actually rotate a little bit towards the ground, chest towards the ground, not backwards. So we'll actually go here, and you can do a protraction, external rotation there, not letting it sink down, keeping the pelvis up. It can be a very difficult exercise as well. The last one I want to show you guys, when we do this dead bug, we want to make sure that we're pushing our low back into the ground. I'm thinking of pushing my knees up towards the ceiling. So I'm here, arms straight up. You can see if I pull my shirt, I got a little space under my back. I got to get rid of that, so I got to push my low back into the ground, push my knees towards the ceiling without letting them crunch up and go into hip flexion. So it's increasingly difficult as my extremities get farther from vertical. So I push my low back into the ground, then I can I don't want to do this. Very easy, very difficult. So the pelvic tilt and the contraction of the abs is the most important part if you're working on core stability. If I want to work on that rectus abdominis and work on that six pack, I have to engage that muscle. Going into lumbar extension can allow me to compensate with other muscles and actually sitting the vertebrae on each other differently. So if I want to stabilize that pelvis, that rectus abdominis isn't going to do hip flexion. It attaches to the pelvis and pulls it up. So only thing it does is flex that lumbar spine, pulling this closer to this. So I have to be considering that whenever I do my core exercises. So posterior pelvic tilt on both of those. Try a little rotation, incorporate a little bit more anterior musculature, and then when you're doing that dead bug, another really common exercise, push that low back into the ground. If someone's got their hand under your low back, you're thinking about crushing it with your low back. So guys, make sure to subscribe, like, and comment on this video. We'll see you next time.